I do think there's a lot of positives that we can draw from this. Now our guys have got to understand there's going to be higher expectations next year, obviously. It's not like DeAndre Matthew had a good year. Now guys are going to game plan against him like they did Andre Hollins from the year before. So they all have got to understand it's not going to maybe be as easy, and the expectations will be higher. So now we're going to be more of the, hunted a little bit, and we got to understand that. The fans, from the people that I've seen, have been very, very, very receptive to our team this year, just from what I've gathered. I think that there's no doubt in my mind playing on national TV, those 2 games in the Garden, was beneficial for our program when it comes to recruiting. It's going to be easier is not probably the right word, less difficult now that I've gone through a year. Teams can understand the way that I coach. We now have a body of work that we can talk about to those guys. They can understand the way that we play, because it was just difficult talking about from the FIU point as opposed to the Minnesota vantage point. So it's never easy, but it's going to be less difficult now, I would think. Yeah, this was as fun of a year as it's going to be. And to do what we did is great with the group of guys that we had. And again, I talked about we didn't have an all-conference player, but there was a lot of positive to that. We had no ego. It was 99% of the practices that we had were awesome. Our seniors were fun to coach. The guys that we brought in all made an impact. I mean, this was as fun a year, and now as expectations get higher, it becomes more difficult. I understand that. But this was a great year. And to have an opportunity, now, listen, in my opinion, at this level, it's NCAA or NIT. And I know there's the CBI and the CIT. But for us to walk off, and, UConn and us to be able to walk off with a win, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. But I do think that for year one, I thought this was a great success. This was a necessary step in building what I've said from day one is a solid foundation. And there's a lot to be excited about. And there's a lot to sell in recruiting now. And there's a lot for Gopher fans to be excited about over the summer moving into next year.